Live from our Kocha studios in Blantyre, we bring you the morning edition of NBC News. Enjoy with me, Upili Kaisa. Coming up. President Mutharika says his administration will continue to modernize operations of the Malawi Defense Force to enhance its effectiveness. Moroccan government increases the number of scholarships for Malawian students. And in sports, the local organizing committee for the forthcoming Netball Africa Cup unveils fixtures for the tournament. And now the news in detail. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika says his government will continue to modernize the Malawi Defense Force by investing in advanced technology and equipment. He was speaking in Salima during the commissioning of 122 officer cadets who have completed 18 months of intensive training. Nkhani Simtowe reports.
The ceremony, presided over by President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the MDF, reflected dedication, discipline, and the importance of strengthening of Malawi's defense. As such, senior government officials, military leadership, families and friends of the cadets, and representatives of various security institutions spared time to witness the honoring of the new officers for their hard work and resilience during the training period. The Malawi leader advised the newly commissioned officer cadets to respect the oath of office they have taken, uphold and defend the country's constitution, and remain professional at all times. He further advised them to refrain from politics and to serve the nation with integrity and discipline. He further said Malawi remains committed to international peacekeeping efforts and the promotion of stability across the globe. The Commander-in-Chief of the MDF further observed that by working closely with neighboring countries, African allies can ably tackle cross-border threats such as terrorism and human trafficking. Speaking earlier, Chief of Defense General George Alexander Jaff Jr. said MDF will endeavor to fulfill its mandates in the most efficient manner for the well-being and prosperity of the country. General Jaff said they remain committed to sustaining high levels of professionalism and discipline. Among the graduating officer cadets, 10 come from Kenya, Zambia, Tanzania, and Eswatini. The cohort comprises 96 men and 26 women and will be deployed as commanding officers to different MDF units. The first couple has also donated 10 million kwacha to a group of women who are spouses of soldiers at the Malawi Armed Forces College, MAFCO, to support them in various activities under their organization. The Malawi leader also gave a gift of 2 million kwacha to 4 soldiers who performed exceptionally well in their military training. Each has received 500,000 Malawi kwacha. Nkhani Simtowe, MBC Salima.
President Mutharika has delegated Vice President Dr. Jenansa to preside over the official opening of the Cabinet Retreat in Mangochi today. The two-day meeting provides a platform for dialogue in key areas such as governance reforms and economic transformation. The 2025 Cabinet Retreat, which has been organized with financial support from UNDP, is being held under the theme Delivering the Promise, Building a Resilient Economy, Accountable Governance and Strategic Partnership for Transformation. Meanwhile, the Vice President Dr. Jenansa has returned home from Luanda, Angola, where she represented President Mutharika at the 7th African Union-European Union Summit. The Vice President arrived in the country through Kamuzu International Airport in Lilongwe. While at the summit, Dr. Jenansa, among others, called for urgent development of the Nakala Railway Corridor, highlighting its significance in enabling Malawi to participate in international trade. The AU-EU summit was held under the theme Promoting Peace through Effective Multilateralism. Ministry of Health says it plans to synchronize operations of the ministry and district health management in order to address challenges that affect health service delivery at district level. Minister of Health Madalitso Baloi said this in Salima during a meeting between officials from the Ministry of Health and Directors of Health and Sanitation Services. Beatrice Mape reports.
The Ministry of Health says the current status of health service delivery is a mixed bag, with some sectors performing well and others poorly. Politics, economy, social, technological and environment are some factors said to be informing performance of district health facilities, therefore affecting service delivery. The meeting between Ministry of Health Management and Directors of Health and Sanitation Services was organized to review this status, identify priority areas, discuss financing, resource allocation, and identify reform policies, among others. Speaking during the meeting, Minister of Health Madalitso Baloi said the ministry seeks to build a health system that is responsive, resilient, patient-centered, and this is achievable if there is strengthened collaboration. Baloi said the target is to reform the country's health system by improving communication and having a clear and coordinated approach between the ministry and district health management going forward.
We want to strengthen the collaboration that is there. We want to be able to have collective action in terms of dealing with the challenges in the health sector. As you know, there are issues to do with the drugs, there are issues to do with service care. We want to make sure that a patient that is out there at the last mile is able to receive the quality services that we are preaching, that we are providing.
Chairperson of the Directors of Sanitation and Health in Malawi, Dr. Henry Shiwa Jr., said he is optimistic that the meeting will help health officials devise ways of improving district health systems for better results.
Malawians should expect a renewed and energized team of district health management in the districts, because what we are here to discuss are frank policies that need to change to make sure that we see the vision that is being discussed at national level is being translated on the ground. And DHSs are the ones, the implementers, who are there to lead the teams in the districts to make sure that the vision is translated. So from this meeting, Malawians should expect that there's going to be a lot of change happening in the districts.
The meeting brought together directors of health and sanitation services from all districts of the country. Beatrice Mwabe, MBC News, Salima.
Deputy Leader of the House, Shadrack Namalomba, has described this week's parliamentary business as productive and has applauded members for their dedication to serving Malawians. The House has since been adjourned to Monday next week. Charles Wahara reports.
Parliament convened this week, Monday. It was notable that members of Parliament are in for serious business. Debate continued on the statement the Minister of Finance delivered relating to mid-year budget review, and members continued to question our ministers on several topics relating to development. Notably, on Wednesday, members confirmed Mr. Feston Maele as Director of Public Prosecutions, and this was also confirmed by the Chairperson of the Public Appointments Committee. Later on, come Thursday, it was a private members' day, and it was so visible that members really wanted to get proper guidance. Views and suggestions were intense on the floor, and Speaker of the National Assembly referred the matter to Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament. Later on, members had to question government relating to budget, issues of tax and all that, until Leader of the House, Japi Muhango, assured members of Parliament that the government has the welfare of Malawians at heart. Taxes are not there to punish them, but taxes are there to ensure that their welfare is greatly improved. Concluding this week in an interview with MBC, Deputy Leader of the House, Shadrack Namalomba, commended members for their commitment as well as dedication relating to transaction of business in the chamber.
It has been a loaded week with full of business. Starting from Monday. Monday we began the day with the responses from the Leader of Opposition, spokespersons of the parties, responding to the budget. mid-year budget that was mid-year budget statement that was presented in the House by Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Decentralization. And then from there we proceeded with the ministerial statements, but also climax has been the constituency development fund and the proposed constitutional amendment by a private member, and that business was conducted on Thursday. We come today. It has been a continuation of debate on the budget, because come next week on Monday the Minister of Finance is going to be winding up debate, and then immediately we're going to go into committee of supply. So it has been a week full of activity. I think it's a week that would say there was value for money. Members were coming here and they've been in the House.
Meanwhile, Second Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Esther Jolobala, has adjourned the House to Monday, 1st December, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is Charles Wahara, MBC News, Parliament Building, Lilongwe.
Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Fachimbedizi, has directed Southern Region Water Board to come up with an alternative way of supplying water to people of Zalewa in Neno as they wait for a stored water development project which is lacking 3 billion kwacha to complete. The minister made the directive when she visited Zalewa following a complaint from parliamentarian of the area, Mary Maulidi Kembo, in Parliament. Arthur Chokoto has the story.
With a population of about 12,000 people, Zalewa area in Neno district has been lacking potable water for a long time. Their hope to have the problem solved through a new water plant to be installed by SRWB became gloomy following the stalling of the project in September this year. Member of Parliament for Zalewa South, Mary Maulidi Kembo, took the matter to Parliament.
We've lost a lot of lives because when they want water, they wanted to draw it from Shire River, which is very dangerous. Crocodiles are all over there. Most of the women have been drowned that river. So it was a concern. As a leader, as a member of Parliament, that's why I took that initiative to go and ask for that service.
The call prompted government's intervention. Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Mbilizi, met SRWB management and visited the project site. She expressed concern that this was happening despite the area's vibrant economic activities.
Yeah, what actually pushed me is the president himself, Professor Athapita Mutharika, because he heard that there is no water supply, safe water supply in the Zalewa area, and that touched him because this is a very busy area. So when I inquired at headquarters, they told me that the project stalled sometime in September because the previous government stopped funding the project. So I was very interested, as sent by the president, to come here and see what is on the ground and why this project was stopped and why it's stalling the way it is. And the people here have no water.
SRWB's acting chief executive officer, engineer Tisungane Kapalamula, reported that progress remains minimal, with physical progress at 5%, financial progress at 7.5%, and only excavations and foundations for auxiliary buildings have been completed.
This project was conceptualized with financing from government. The contractor submitted his advance payment guarantees to request for an advance payment of about 1.3 billion. Government only managed to give us about 500 million, which we gave the contractor, and that's not been enough for the contractor to progress with the works, and that's the reason why these works, as you can see, have stalled at the moment.
Government has since emphasized the need for SRWB to explore interim water supply solutions to protect communities from health risks as the rainy season approaches. Arthur Chokoto, MBC News, Neno.
You're watching MBC News with me, Opile Kaisa. A reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika says his administration will continue to modernize operations of the Malawi Defense Force to enhance its effectiveness. Moroccan government increases the number of scholarships for Malawian students. And in sports, the local organizing committee for the forthcoming Netball Africa Cup unveils fixtures for the tournament. Welcome back. The Moroccan government says it has increased the number of scholarships for Malawian students from 100 to 130. Moroccan ambassador to Malawi, Abdulkader Naji, made the remarks in Lilongwe during a farewell meeting with 8 Malawian students who are going to pursue undergraduate studies under the Moroccan Agency for International Cooperation. Madali Somhango and Olive Piri have compiled this report.
Speaking during a send-off ceremony, Moroccan ambassador to Malawi, Abdulkader Naji, said the opportunity is part of the Moroccan government's commitment to strengthening bilateral relations between Malawi and Morocco. Naji added that Morocco will continue supporting Malawi in various sectors, including education, to help the country realize its development aspirations.
The Kingdom of Morocco and the Republic of Malawi. We have very good relations, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Honorable George Ponda, MEP, visited last week Morocco, and he signed a new roadmap of cooperation between the Kingdom of Morocco and the Republic of Malawi for the period 2026-2028, which includes also cooperation in education and training, and the number of scholarships increased to 130.
One of the scholarship recipients, Saudan Kagala, who will be studying social assistance at the Higher Institute of Nursing and Health Techniques in Morocco, has hailed the Moroccan government for the opportunity, saying it will help her contribute to the development of the nation.
I think this is an opportunity for us, the students who are going to study in Morocco, and from there we'll have our degrees. And it's an important thing that will develop our country.
The 8 Malawian students have been selected to pursue their studies in various programs, including education, economics, engineering, among other programs.
The Ministry of Agriculture has challenged private sector players to invest in irrigation schemes being implemented under the Program for Rural Irrigation Development, PRIDE, as a way of boosting productivity. Deputy Director in the Ministry, Anderson Mbodzi, said this following reports that most irrigation schemes that have been developed are not being utilized fully due to lack of capacity by smallholder farmers. More details in this report.
The call for private sector investment in irrigation comes as the country still lags behind in developing its irrigation infrastructure, with only 156,000 hectares developed with proper irrigation facilities out of the projected 407,000 hectares. Deputy Director in the Ministry of Agriculture, Anderson Mbodzi, has challenged private sector players to invest in and work with farmers, as statistics show that out of the estimated 1,800 hectares developed under Program for Rural Irrigation Development, PRIDE, only 811 hectares are being utilized by the farmers, which is less than half of the land. Mbodzi hopes utilization of the land and productivity can improve once private sector players come in.
We want to make sure that all the areas which we have developed, they should be sustainably managed and achieve the maximum productivity that can justify the investment that we have invested in these schemes. So apart from the development, as a ministry, we are addressing this pillar number 2, where I want to make sure that every area that we have invested, farmers should get the maximum returns on the investment and also on their labor. Because these days we want to make sure that farmers should be able to do farming business.
ADMAC Chief Executive Officer Dan Makara has pledged to work with the farmers by providing them with a ready market of the agriculture produce as well as agro-processing.
As a potential partner in production, as a potential partner in off-taking, we are excited because we know we can go and partner with the farmers in the production, but we can also go and partner with farmers in off-taking the various commodities that they are producing in these irrigation schemes.
Through different initiatives like the Shire Valley Transformation Project, Malawi Watershed Services, as well as the Program for Rural Irrigation Development, government hopes to increase the area under irrigation from 156,000 to 220,000 hectares by 2030. Trust Office, MBC News, Lilongwe.
First Grade Magistrate Robert Porter has granted bail to former State Residence's Deputy Chief of Staff, Godfrey Jalali. Jalali is accused of stealing 4 German Shepherd dogs valued at 4 million kwacha from Kamuzu Palace between 19 September and 4 October 2025, a charge he has pleaded not guilty to. In his bail ruling, Magistrate Porter noted that the 7 days the state had requested to keep Jalali in custody to conclude investigations had already elapsed. He has since granted bail on several conditions, including that Jalali must report to Area 30 Police every fortnight on Mondays, pay a 50,000 non-cash bond, and provide a 50,000 surety. The court has also given the state 2 weeks to submit disclosures in readiness for trial. Defense lawyer Kwimo Mchizi had this to say.
Yesterday the court had a re-application for his release, and today the court has released my client on the basis of the 7 days that was given to the state for the further investigations have actually lapsed today, and because of that there's no further need for him to be. The state will have to give us the evidence that they have, popularly known as disclosures. They've been given 2 weeks, so we hope and pray that within the 2 weeks they will have given us the disclosures, and the case will be ready for trial, and probably the court will give us a date as soon as possible for us to start trial.
Salvation for All Ministries International, led by Apostle Clifford Kawinga, has distributed maize to 3,500 food insecure households in the island district of Likoma. Speaking after making the donation, Apostle Kawinga called on other organizations and individuals to support government in reaching out to the 4 million households in Malawi that are facing hunger. Victoria Mpande and Chimwemwe Medolu have compiled this report, read by Jackson Sichali.
As part of the Salvation for All Ministries International's commitment to supporting vulnerable households, the ministry has distributed maize to food insecure households in the island district of Likoma after doing the same in the 27 districts on the mainland. Speaking at Madimba Ground in the area of Senior Chief Mkumba in the district, the ministry's leader, Apostle Clifford Kawinga, said government needs support from different stakeholders, including faith-based organizations, to rescue households facing hunger in the country.
Responding to the challenges that we are facing as a country at national level, 4.7 million people, they are going under a hunger crisis. Malawi is a beautiful country. It has got a very beautiful and fertile land. The natural resources in this country is beautiful and precious. What is needed is it's about a collective responsibility that everybody should take part. Whosoever has got that concern should participate to rescue our fellow brothers and sisters to the crisis that we are going of hunger. We shouldn't just point fingers to the government, but government is we, the people. So the churches and governmental, non-governmental institutions, of course, private sector, let's hold hands.
Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, the Senior Chief Mkumba 3 commended Salvation for All Ministries for reaching out to the islanders. He further said the island district does not produce much food to feed its population throughout the year and largely depends on food from the mainland. Apart from being a spiritual leader, Apostle Clifford Kawinga is an entrepreneur, and through his ministry, he has been distributing relief food to thousands of households across the country. Out of the 3,000 households that have benefited from the maize donation, 2,000 were from Likoma and the rest were from Chizumulu Island.
And finally, in sports, the local organizing committee for the forthcoming Netball Africa Cup has unveiled fixtures for the tournament, which will run from 8 to 14 December in Lilongwe. According to the fixture, Malawi Queens will play Botswana in the official opening match. Details with our reporter, Foster Maulidi.
Malawi Queens have been placed in Pool A alongside Botswana, Tanzania and rival South Africa, while our men's team is in Pool 2 alongside Eswatini, Kenya and Namibia. Uganda, Zimbabwe, Namibia and Kenya are in Pool 2 in women's category, while South Africa, Zimbabwe, Uganda and Botswana forms Pool 1 in men's category. Chairperson for the local organizing committee, Limbani Matola, says they are set to host a successful tournament. Matola says they have placed a small fee per day as a crowd control measure to accommodate the required capacity for the tournament venue, Griffin Saenda Sports Complex.
As a local organizing committee, we are very ready to receive these countries and to ensure that we give all the fans that will come, all our international guests, the players, dignitaries and officials, the best experience ever in as far as hosting the African Netball Cup competition is concerned. For us to make it free, we might have challenges in terms of funds management. So there'll be a small fee for the ticket. And we also want to inform our fans out there that the matches will start as early as 7 a.m. and finishing as late as 7 p.m. in some cases.
Queen's coach Peace Kalua and her captain Takondo Aluwazi have both assured Malawians of a fight to keep the trophy home.
I know my girls are well prepared to showcase what they can, and they are eager to win. We know we are playing at home. Playing at home requires you to do more. So we are eagerly ready for any team that comes along. We are not saying we are going to lessen their capabilities. No, but we will take each team as they come.
The tournament will now involve 8 teams as Zambia and Lesotho have withdrawn their participation, reportedly due to financial constraints. Foster Maulidi, MBC Sport.
And that item concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika says his administration will continue to modernize operations of the Malawi Defense Force to enhance its effectiveness. Moroccan government increases the number of scholarships for Malawian students. And in sports, the local organizing committee for the forthcoming Netball Africa Cup unveils fixtures for the tournament. For more on these and other stories, visit our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Upile Kaisa. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.
Good morning and welcome to today's weather update. Windy, partly cloudy and warm to hot conditions are expected to persist over our country. However, thunderstorms and rains are expected over some areas in the southern part of Malawi. This is all due to the influence of unstable air mass over our country. Therefore, this morning, mild conditions are expected over most areas. However, cool conditions are expected over Nzuzu with a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and warm conditions over Ngabo with 25 degrees Celsius. We should also expect partly cloudy conditions over the southern